Wait, what? I'm gonna go where? Okay. Oh, you're not joking. Nineveh? Really? You're talking about that big Assyrian city that's like, you know, full of sin and horrible people? You've met them, right? No, I'm not going there. No. They're awful. They don't deserve it. No, I'm not going. Nope. 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 Definitely not. Those guys are awful. I don't think he's ever met him. He's supposed to be God. He's supposed to know this stuff. I'm not going. I'm going to hide out on a fishing boat. I'm out of here. Does he really know what people do there? I mean, for real. Seriously. They're horrible. We'll hide in here. This ship looks good. All right, so our friend Jonah has some pretty strong opinions about Nineveh, right? Where God is trying to send him. He's heard all of the things, the stories about how Nineveh behaves. You know, there are stories of plots against God, about idolatry and prostitution and just unkindness to people and animals. So our friend Jonah, who's supposed to be a prophet, has been told by God to go and preach to them, because Nineveh is a huge city in Assyria, which is this rising empire. But he doesn't want to. He's heard about those people and is like, God, you don't really know what you're talking about. You don't want to save those people. They don't deserve it. Well, that's his opinion, right? We all know God has a higher mind than ours and decides who is worthy of saving and who is not. And this speaks to kind of something that we do today, right, in our own minds. We may view a group of people or a place or maybe a specific person as not worthy of redemption. Maybe you feel that way about yourself. Maybe you feel like, man, God, I don't know. I'm not worth it. I'm horrible. I did this thing a while back and, you know, my attitude's not great and we're just better off just leave me alone. Or, like I said, you feel that way about a group of people or another place. You're like, you know what, those people are just awful. Just leave them alone. You know, let's take care of these people over here. They're great. They're cool. You know, they do what you tell them most of the time, but not them, right? And that's not the right way to be. We see a lot of that. It's not new, and it hasn't gone away. We still see it today. We treat other people, interest groups and cultures, maybe live different places or have different opinions than us, have different beliefs than us, but still, we're all created by God and we're all worthy of redemption, right? So let's check back in on Jonah. What? What are you talking about? Oh. Wow, that is a bad storm. Man, what are we gonna do? Why are you asking me? I'm not the captain, you're the captain. My fault. My fault. Nineveh. He did tell me to go to Nineveh. I kind of ran away. Okay. Did you throw some stuff overboard? Did you try rowing? My fault. Yep. Okay. Definitely my fault. I got an idea. Might sound kind of weird. You're gonna have to throw me overboard. I know. What? More argument? You're not gonna fight this? There's no, man, it's okay. We'll see. No? Not? Okay. Okay. So kind of like we expect, right? God found Jonah out. You can't hide in the bottom of a boat and think that God's not going to find you, right? He told him to do something. He ran away from it, and God located him. And so the boat's in the middle of this storm. That's horrible. Crew's freaking out. They don't know what to do. I'll tell you some of the stuff that they tried. the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own god, and they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. And then the captain came down and says, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us so that we will not perish." And the sailors said to each other, "Come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity." They're looking for somebody to blame. Oh, look downstairs, the new guy, the Titan. But you see also Jonah comes to the recognition that, ooh, you know what? I should have listened. And he actually says, just throw me overboard, right? And you'll be saved. So he actually makes a selfless decision. He acknowledges that, you know what? He messed up. He did the wrong thing. He did what God didn't do what God told him to do. So, pretty good move. They do toss him overboard, which is crazy. And then the sea calms. And they cried out to the Lord, "Please, Lord, do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing an innocent man, for you, Lord, have done as you pleased." Then they took Jonah and threw him overboard, and the raging sea grew calm. At this, the men greatly feared the Lord, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. So this crew, these men that were praying to each of their different gods and casting lots and trying to decide who was wrong, Jonah actually, in his error, kind of witnessed to these guys a little bit because he did what he said, and things got better. So now we have Jonah in the sea. And of course, we all familiar with the story, right? God sends a fish, a whale, and swallows him up. And he spends 3 days in the belly of the whale until he's brought on shore. I'm going to read you Jonah's prayer while he's in the belly. So from inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord his God. He said, "In my distress I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead I called for help, and you listened to me, my cry. You hurled me into the depths, into the very heart of the seas, and the current swirled around me. All your waves and breakers swept over me. I said, I have been banished from your sight, yet I will look again toward your holy temple. The engulfing waters threatened me. The deep surrounded me. Seaweed was wrapped around my head. To the roots of the mountains I sank down. The earth beneath barred me in forever. But you, Lord my God, brought my life up from the pit. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to you, to your holy temple. Those who cling to the worthless idols turn away from God's love for them, but I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed I will make good. I will say salvation comes from the Lord." And after that, the fish just kind of yacked him up on dry land, as it says. And then he went and fulfilled his mission. He preached in Nineveh, and many were saved. Many were brought out of their wicked ways. And the rulers saw this, and they made changes. So Jonah resisted. He didn't want to go. He thought these people were awful and worthless and not worthy of being redeemed, right? They're too far gone. But God, of course, the creator of all people, he knows us all, and he definitely knows better than one individual person. We have our perceptions, we have the way that we see the world around us, but it's not always right because we don't get the whole picture, right? We can make judgments about something that we see, but it's the many, many, many more things that we don't see that should weigh, and that's why you and I don't get to decide who's worthy to come to God. So trust the Lord, trust his judgment. Allow his judgment to influence your thoughts. Resist making a judgment about other people because you're going to receive the same judgment. The funny thing about Jonah is we think, wow, that's great. He came around. He said, yeah, okay, I'll go do this thing that you told me. But as we continue and finish up this book, he fulfills his mission, and he turns to king, and he makes a proclamation. But then in the last chapter, Well, let's see what he does. Yeah, I did the thing. Yeah. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. No, that's why I ran away. Because I didn't want you to do that, because I think you're wrong. I know that you're a gracious and compassionate God and slow to anger and abounding in love and a God who relents from sending calamity, and they didn't deserve it. So, no, just kill me now, because this is crazy. I don't like it. No, I'd rather be dead. Nope, just kill me. Man, even after all that, Jonah is a model for us. Something has the nerve to be angry with God, a story about sending him on this kind of, you know, journey. When he starts, he's kind of what God was trying to do. A little bit petulant, and he ran from it. No, he tried to stop it. Not. He's got his opinion. He's got his mind made up about this group of people. And seen yourself fit to try and stop somebody else from having something good happen. But then he finally submits after some convincing, right? He's running away. There's a storm. He realizes his error. He realizes, hey, you know what? I knew what you were going to do, and I didn't want you to do it because I don't deserve it. Throw him overboard. God sends a fish to swallow him up. And kind of weird, but he tells God that, you know what? It accomplished the mission, right? Just dead. Just kill me. That was a little extreme, I think. But anyway, he sits down, right? And then he finally goes and God does what he's told, and he thinks, yes, all right, Jonah's come back to his senses. Jonah some shelter. He understands he's going to be a great, brilliant servant to the Lord. You know what? You're dumb. I don't have to listen. And then he starts talking back again, makes his plant grow and covers him up. So, you know, he's not the model of what we need to be. But like many things in the Bible, he's a lesson. He was happy about the plant. Of what happens. But it dawned the next day, God provided a worm which chewed the plant so that it withered. When the sun rose, God provided a scorching east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. He wanted to die and said, it would be better for me to die than to live. If you find yourself angry, again he says it, at a person because of his suffering, or find yourself having negative God said to Jonah, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? Take a breath. It is, he said. And I'm so angry I wish I were dead. But the Lord says, you have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend it or make it grow. Got a better idea it sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who could not tell their however their ideas conflict with yours, and also many animals. In God's eyes, they're still worthy, just as much as you are. So he got mad at the plant, right, because it withered and died. Okay. His point is that you're probably on the other end of that for other people. Then it's going to suffer and die. And God sent Jonah. We're all human. We have feelings. We have opinions. The city to tend to his people, so that they don't continue to suffer and sin and wither away. That's just the way things are. That's part of being human. So we got to lean on God and rely on His judgment, and let Him decide who's worthy or not, and just listen to what He tells you. I hope you guys got something out of this, and I hope you guys are staying warm and healthy. You know, this is, well, we're coming up on a year of this stuff. It's been pretty crazy. I really miss you guys a lot, but you know, we'll keep making these videos, try to make them more interesting and more fun for you. But please, as always, pray to God, pray for yourself, pray for others, be safe, and we all love you.